Inside space.
Inside space.
We choose to go to the moon in this
Everything is nominal for you. Okay, let's go. Roger, quality base here. The Eagle has landed.
Hello, I'm Laura Banks. All around planet Earth, we've had a never-ending fascination with one mystery. How did the universe begin? Over the centuries, our ancestors made stabs in the dark. They told their own creation stories, as different as the cultures they came from. Today, we have our own explanation for how it all began. But we're only the most recent in a long line of generations to probe at this mystery. And we certainly won't be the last.
We search the earth, the stars, and within ourselves. We've spent thousands of years wondering at the very existence of our universe. How was it born? Why are we here? And how will it all end? Today, cosmologists believe they have found evidence of the spark that started it all, the Big Bang, a cosmic bomb that set the entire universe into motion 15 billion years ago. But throughout history, there have been many tales describing creation. Author Virginia Hamilton revisits those ancient stories in her book, In the Beginning. In their own way, those tales are no stranger than our own mysterious Big Bang.
In the beginning, Elohim, God, created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form. There was nothing. And God said, "Let there be light."
Scientists say that at the moment of creation, our entire universe erupted from a single point, smaller than an atom. The explosion appeared everywhere, simultaneously, throwing intense radiation and heat of trillions upon trillions of degrees out into space.
There was no one at first. There was not one animal, bird, fish, or tree. There was nothing that could make a sound, yet there was a maker. And there was the feathered serpent. And they brought their words together, joined them with their thoughts, and planned creation. They created the earth by saying it.
From that one blast of the Big Bang, all the matter in the universe, from the smallest subatomic particles to the largest galaxies in the heavens, came into existence. All the chemical elements, the building blocks for living things on Earth, were formed in the exploding stars of our galaxy.
The space of the universe was in the shape of a hen's egg. Within the egg was a great mass called Nothing. Inside Nothing was something not yet born. It was not yet developed, and it was called Fanku. In no time, Fanku burst from the egg. He was the first being and the great creator. Fanku separated sky from earth. The light, pure sky was yang, and the heavy, dark weight of earth was yin. Only when Fanku died was the world at last complete, for he vanished in the making of the world.
Despite the scientific advances of the 20th century and the findings of the COBE satellite, some of the same mysteries that once intrigued the ancients are still with us today. Questions not just about creation, but about the role a higher power may have played in setting it all in motion.
I think that's a billion-year-old question, and no, I don't have the answer.
I'm into the Big Bang Theory myself.
I believe in Big Bang. Big Bang. The Big Bang.
Big Bang.
Big Bang.
Big Bang.
Big Bang.
Big Bang.
Big Bang. But there had to be somebody to create a Big Bang, so there had to be a higher figure.
I believe in God. I think God had a lot to do with it.
God.
God.
I think God, yeah.
God, religious.
The story about the 7 days? Yeah, he's wrestling.
Religious God.
Religious.
God.
God, definitely
Yeah, God. Church.
God,
Yeah.
God's the man.
A divine spark, perhaps.
I just sort of accept it as being there. I don't really worry about it too much.
With the help of the COBE satellite, scientists were able to trace the form of the universe we see today back to the uneven explosion of the Big Bang. But that opportunity won't last much longer. Originally scheduled for 1 year, the COBE mission has been extended until November of 1993, at which time it will have given us all the information it can. That gives us just a little more time and a little more science to explore our mysterious beginning. When we come back, conversing with the planets. What do science and mythology have in common? Quite a bit when it comes to the history of astronomy. Ancient cultures used their imaginations and their stories to explain what they saw in the night sky and to determine their place in the cosmos, in some ways filling a need not unlike our own efforts to understand the universe today. In his recent book, Dr. Anthony Avini explores the similarities between past and present astronomy. Hello, Dr. Avini, and welcome to Inside Space.
Nice to be here.
Throughout history, we've tried to explain how the universe was created. How has our most recent explanation, the Big Bang, changed the way we now view creation?
Well, the Big Bang makes all of us, I suppose, feel alone and helpless and perhaps hopeless in the universe, doesn't it? It gives us a definite beginning, and in some versions, it gives us a very definite end to that universe. The script we opted for about 500 years ago during the great age of the Renaissance was one that separated the human spirit and consciousness from the material universe. Ever since then, we believed in a universe that's constructed out of mathematical laws. We experiment by looking through telescopes and trying to verify our hypotheses. Well, you get the language I'm using here. It's one that has very little to do with human participation.
So are you saying you're debating the scientific evidence of the Big Bang, or are you debating scientific evidence in definition?
Well, good question. I think we're talking about how we define and perceive the universe. And what I'm trying to suggest is that the universe that we create in our minds, the story of that universe, is based on mathematical principles, based on experimentation, based on what we see through telescopes. It's a universe that follows the rules that we set up in advance. And remember what that primary rule was, that there is no place for human consciousness in the frame of things. Now, those of us who begin to study modern quantum mechanics and begin to look down into the very core of the atom, begin to realize that maybe that universe does have part of us in it. We may be stuck in that tar baby. And I think right now we're trying to work through the problems of understanding the validity of this story as we frame it.
Is there any existence of God within the Big Bang theory?
Well, God, I think for the scientist, for the person who studies the natural world, would be the part of the story that we cannot explain by using scientific laws.
Is creation cyclical? I mean, could it actually happen over and over again?
Anyone who lived in the Fertile Crescent, the land between the Tigris and the Euphrates 3,000 years ago, would have believed in cyclic destruction and recreation. For the rivers flood their valleys and destroy everything during the rainy season. And then the sun comes out and bakes the land, and then life starts another cycle. So when we look at the way nature behaves, even from watching the sun rise in the morning and set in the evening, watching the moon's phases, watching even the cycles of nature unfold over long periods of time, of course the universe is cyclic. Now, I think our big bangers are debating that issue right now, aren't they?
Yes.
They're wondering about whether there'll be a cosmic crush billions of years from now and everything will come back together. This idea about cyclicity, about the repetition of time, is born within us. I think we see it in every aspect of life.
Well, I want to thank you very much for being on Inside Space and offering us your perspective on everything. And if you'd like to get the book, it's Conversing with the Planets. Next up, stepping into the future with Babylon 5.